Okay, so what I'm now looking to do is to make my text a little bit more visible. As you can see, my blurb, you can't really read at the moment. It's white text and I have this wave image coming through it that unfortunately is making it very difficult to read. Now I've tried moving things around, but I want that image over to the left and I want the text on the right. Now, to make the text be a lot more clearer, I can actually add in a shape of colour to go underneath that I can sort of blend in, but it will make the text a lot more obvious. So to do this, what you're going to need to do is first of all just check your layers. Now as you can see here, I've got my screenshot 3 here and I have my text up here as well. Now I'm aiming to put a layer just underneath the pair of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to my shapes tool. Now you can pick all sorts, but I've gone for a rounded rectangle. So I'm going to my rounded rectangle tool, and up here I'm just going to check that the fill is black, okay, which is nice and easy, and I can change in a minute. And the stroke I want to switch off, so I'm just going to hit the white with the red line through it. This doesn't matter because I've switched it off, and over here determines how rounded it is. The higher the number, the larger the rounding. I'm going to put 50 in here and press enter. Now, when I drag this box, you'll see that I get this shape. And I'm going to try to put it so it goes right the way around my text and quite a lot of the image. This can still be changed. Now at the moment it's gone behind the text, but I also need it to go behind the screenshot, so I'm going to drag it down and release. Now I'm starting to get more of what I want, but I still want to make this a bit bigger. So I'm going to drag that right over to the edge and try and get it to be as neat as possible with the screenshot. I'm actually quite happy with that. That's quite a good placement. Now to change the color of it, all I need to do with this is double click just here. You get a little icon. Now I can then pick a color. So I could pick a blue off of the page if I wanted to really try to blend it in. And I quite like this one. It's a little brighter and it is actually highlighting my blurb much better. Now from here, I may want to still work it together a bit more, so I can drop the opacity slightly. If I drop the opacity slightly, it becomes a bit see-through and I can see my image underneath, but luckily I can now read the text. So this has clearly worked. Now that I'm happy with that, I can think about the font a bit more. If I double click the T, I can go back in and edit the font. Now for this one, I did have a font in mind. You can obviously go and have a look. You can go and find one that you think is going to be suited and test it. I'm going to have a go with this one, Berlin Sans. It's a lot bolder and I think it's going to work very nicely for my text, but at the moment, unfortunately, it's still too big. So I'm going to have to drop the size a little bit more. Size 9, it seems, has worked just fine. So I'm going to highlight all of that and I might just try it 9.5 to see if it will fit, which it will. Once I'm happy, I might want to just move the text box a little bit just to get that word off of one line. I'm going to hit my move tool and then I'm going to use the arrow keys just to move it over a little bit, and there we go. I've got my blurb, I've got a nice screenshot, and everything is now really starting to come together.